I'm talking too much. I love you all. Thanks for listening. Here's Finn.
Aw, thanks. Alrighty, hi y'all. This is Finn. Welcome back to my show. This is the second time that I'm doing it, and you are currently listening to Westchester Music Media Share. This first song is called Bus Money by The Chats. Thank you. That was Bus Money by The Chats. Okay, hang on. I can't actually see my script from this far. Okay, yes I can. So, you guys know that I'm in fandoms. I talked about it last time on my show. I actually found that song on a Bench Trio animatic. For those of y'all who were not listening to the show last time, I'm in the Dream SMP fandom. Now that we got that out of the way, I will be talking about that a lot during my show because that is my current hyperfixation. I really liked the song and how it went with the animatic because it does sound like Tubbo if he were to be in a punk band, which I love that. The next song I also found in an animatic. This was my gateway song to this band. This band is called Daughter. This is one of their earlier songs when they were kind of still figuring out their sound, and it is a beautiful song. So here is Youth by Daughter. They are one of the only bands that I know whose music has gotten better over time. It's gotten increasingly more experimental. This one is relatively-ish more new, and it was featured in the Life is Strange soundtrack for, I think it was the sequel game Before the Storm. Yes, without further ado, here is Burn It Down by Daughter. Thank you. That was Burn It Down by Daughter. So, the Life is Strange soundtrack has amazing songs, and in my eyes, the songs are really what make the atmosphere of the game. And what also has a great soundtrack, which actually has no right to have as good of a soundtrack as it does, is the Twilight movies. Considering the fact that they are all based off of a book series that was originally a Gerard Way fanfiction. If you don't believe me, look it up. I swear to God it's true. I was so surprised when I'd never seen the movies before and all of these fantastic songs were on it, and I was even more surprised that I knew most of them. So this is one of the songs that is actually on that soundtrack, and it is called Earth by Sleeping at Last, and it is a beautiful song. So yes, thank you. That was Earth by Sleeping at Last. That entire album is beautiful, by the way. Each song in it is named after a planet or a thing in the galaxy. Please go check it out. Speaking of that being on the Twilight soundtrack, my therapist from my boarding school actually loves Twilight, and she and I have a very similar music taste. Karen, this is for you. I love you. At my boarding school, we would so those of us who had Karen as our therapist would always say, I heart Memphis, but instead it's I heart Karen. We said that we were going to make t-shirts for it. Aiden, if you are listening to this, which you probably aren't because you are literally in New Jersey, I am still hoping that you do make the I heart Karen t-shirts. Anyway, speaking of Karen, first time that I listened to music with her in her office, she recognized the next song that I'm about to play, which is Down the Line by Beach Fossils. She and I have a very similar music taste. This is a beautiful song and it always makes me think of her. So Karen, this is for you. I love you, Karen. Thank you. That was Down the Line by Beach Fossils. At my boarding school, I created like a little like CD mixtape thingy-mabub full of like all these songs that I really enjoyed, and that was one of them. Next one, which is Did It To Myself by Orla Gartland. I am very glad that I was able to indoctrinate a lot of people from Ironwood to my music taste. So yeah, here is I Did It To Myself by Orla Gartland. Thank you. That was I Did It To Myself by Orla Gartland. It helped me to cope through a really, really horrid breakup. I heavily suggest it for occasions like that, especially when it comes to guilt regarding codependent and or failing relationships. Here are some more songs that are very good for the breakup blues. The next few songs in order are Two Time by Jack Stauber, Numbers by Daughter, another Daughter song because I love her, or them, they're a band, but for some reason my brain registers it as a single human being, Stick Season by Noah Kahn, and One Day by Lovejoy. So without further ado, let us play the songs. You are listening to WARY, wait, hang on, no, I don't have to do the legal, but I'll do it anyway. You are listening to WARY, Voice of Valhalla, New York. That is One Day by Lovejoy, which, okay, when I heard that Wilbur was in a band, I was at boarding school, and I didn't even know that he made music aside from jokey stuff like Your New Boyfriend, things along those lines. And when I came back home and I heard his other music, and I became literally so obsessed. The songs on Your City Gave Me Asthma are vastly different from the songs that he makes in Lovejoy, which is what this song is from. I love them both so much, and Lovejoy just kind of hits different and really, really pops off. The first Lovejoy content I actually saw was the video of Wilbur and Tommy messing around and like music stuff. I was blown away by how talented both of them are, especially Tommy, because like I did not expect that of him. him. Speaking of like that live rendition that I saw online, there's another live rendition of a song that is vastly different when stripped down to the bare bones. That would be I Bet on Losing Dogs by Mitski. This version of it is amazing, and I'm gonna play it for you guys now because it's literally so good. So thank you for listening, and have a good one. That was the live Audiotree version of I Bet on Losing Dogs by Mitski. Something about the rawness of her vocals when it's stripped back and she performs this like rendition of the song is just, you know? Do y'all want to hear some more songs about failing relationships and not just about romantic ones? This includes platonic. I got you, mans. Here is the current list that is going to be played. Holiest by Glass Animals, I Was All Over Her by Salvia Palth, Brave as a Noun by AJJ, The Record Player Song by Daisy the Great, Pray by The Neighborhood, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, Hot Sugar by Glass Animals, and Soft Boy by Lil Brissett, because we love him on this Christian Minecraft server. And by Christian Minecraft server, I mean not religiously affiliated radio show. Alrighty, let's go! Hi, okay, I'm really sorry, there are some technical difficulties in the studio. Can you entertain them while I figure out what in the hell is going on? Yeah, just talk about random stuff because this happens like all the time. Okay, just talk about random stuff, please. Thank you. You can do it, you have ADHD, I believe in you.
So, the most random thing that I have done today was eat sushi with cream cheese, which I didn't think would be the greatest thing to do, but I actually did like it.
Ow, what are we talking about? Hi.
Anything.
You are listening to WARY in Valhalla, New York. We are the voice of Westchester. Without further ado, here is Hot Sugar by Glass Animals, and then right after that, Soft Boy by Will Brissett, which is his new release. So, yes, I love him! So that was his new release. He released it this Monday, and that song has actually been in the works for, I believe, 2 to 3 years. It was originally an acoustic track, which when he finally released the official version, Tommy in it, his reaction is so wholesome. Like, literally, I do not have siblings, but like, if I had siblings, I would want it to be very similar to their dynamic. Many people know Wilbur Soot's music. If they don't know him from YouTube, they know him from the song Your New Boyfriend. And while I was at work on my break, I saw this cover of somebody doing like a female point of view kind of version of that song. I messaged them on Instagram and I was like, do you feel comfortable with me playing this on the radio? And they were like, yes, but like with a lot more enthusiasm, which was like really, really wholesome. Yes, this is the female rendition of Your New Boyfriend by Will Brissett. So yes, without further ado, here it is! Woo! That was the cover of Your New Boyfriend, but instead it was called My Ex-Boyfriend. God, I literally love, like, that cover so much. Literally so much. I don't think that people realize that, like, being objectified online, like, does not equal love. And usually women are so used to being objectified that we turn to internet fame as, like, a form of self-validation. Because, like, hey, you seem to like me either way, right? Whether it's like for me and my personality or for my body. So at least you're a simp, at least you care, right? Which actually, no, that does not mean that they care. Ladies, and I mean really anybody who falls into this demographic, if you're like out there and this resonates with you, trust me, you are more than your body, more than your internet persona. And internet fame and being worshipped for your assets is not the same as being loved and appreciated or having actual friends, especially if you are somebody who's struggled with like loneliness or social isolation in the past. Trust me, there are like-minded individuals out there in person, and you will be able to find them. Like, trust me. Just trust me. Hold on. So, speaking of YouTube covers of already pre-existing songs, here is an English metal cover of a Japanese Vocaloid song about how horribly messed up their school system is. So, this is The Lost Ones Weeping, cover by Cammy Cat on YouTube. That was The Lost Ones Weeping, English cover by Cammy Cat. I absolutely love that cover. Her vocals are so different from the Vocaloid style, but it works so well, especially in regards to like what a lot of people who feel like they do not fit into the kind of education system that our school system, at least the public school system, kind of tries to pigeonhole high schoolers and middle schoolers and even elementary schoolers into. And I just love the contrast from like the Vocaloid voice to her voice as she sings the English lyrics. So we've had a bunch of songs about failing relationships, some like sad things. So here is some like fun or happy songs, and most of them are love songs because PEMDAS. This one coming up is We Will Never Have Sex by Leith Ross. I feel like in our society, maybe this is projection, maybe it's Maybelline, but I feel like in our society it is very much like almost an expectation of like if you are in a relationship you have to be physically intimate with somebody, and that can cause a lot of like internal turmoil for those who maybe don't really know what they actually want. And this song just gives me hope for society. So yeah, here is that song. It's very cute. This is WARY in Valhalla, New York. We are the voice of Westchester. So that was Cloud 9 by Beach Bunny, and that song was really popular on TikTok a while ago. I don't use TikTok anymore, but I do remember a lot of the songs that were like on it when I was on it. Which is really weird to be nostalgic about because it was like only 2 years ago, or 3 or 4, I don't know. But here's another song that was popular on TikTok. Even though I don't use the app anymore, I'll be darned if I don't still watch fandom TikTok compilations on YouTube. Without any further ado, here is Achilles Come Down by Gang of Youths. Thank you for tuning into that song. I'm not gonna finish the rest of it because it's like really, really long. God, that song is amazing. It's such a good song, and it reminds me a lot because it is heavily referencing the same myth. The Song of Achilles, which is a book, I think it's written by Adeline Miller, but that song is told by the perspective of Patroclus, as is the book. And oh my god, that book is literally so good. It reads like a fan fiction, but like a well-written fan fiction. Like you can clearly tell that the author used to write fic before she wrote that book. And it took her 10 years to write, and you see how the characters develop along as like her writing style is developing, and oh my god, it like accompanies everything so well. And that book, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but that book literally tore me to shreds. So please read it. It is so good. And here are some more songs that like reference Greek mythology or are about it. Greek mythology was actually one of my first special interests in elementary school. Yeah, Greek mythology will always be held very near and dear. So without further ado, here is the rest of my Greek mythology kind of section of the show. That was Already Aphrodite by Peach Pit. They are playing in New York City in December. I don't remember the day or where exactly, but you can look it up on like ticket buying places. That's their most popular song. That was my gateway song to them, as I feel like it was most people's gateway songs, but they have a lot of other fantastic songs like Shampoo Bottles, Peach Pit, which is also the name of their band, Denny's Garage, Tommy's Party. I'll play other songs by them later on, but I don't really have time today, and I have a whole script kind of thing that I'm following. So here are some more songs referencing Greek mythology. We have Gods and Monsters, The Cult of Dionysus, Medusa, and Siren. So have fun with that. That was Persephone by Daisy the Great. She made the record player song, which was big on TikTok a while ago. I played that earlier in the stream, actually, and all of her lyrics are breathtaking. Like, they're loaded and yet simplistic, and if you like Aurora, Daughter, or Phoebe Bridgers, you'll love her music. Here's a song that she released yet less than a year ago. I've been listening to it on repeat for the past few days, and here is Glitter by Daisy the Great. Thank you for listening to my show. It has been a blast being on here for the second time. I know that we had some technical difficulties kind of like halfway through the show, but I really appreciate that you've been staying strong with me. That was the last song, which was Glitter by Daisy the Great. Please, please, please go listen to the rest of her music. I'm a complete sucker for harmonies, and by God does she do harmonies fantastically. So yeah, thank you for having me on the air, and you have been listening to Westchester Music Media Share. Alrighty, I'll see you next week, or you'll hear me next week because you can't really see me or talk back at me. So, it's been fun. Bye!